Hi guys, hope you're having a great evening. This is Fred and Sheila.
Hey guys,
We're
interesting,
yeah,
interesting evening.
yeah,
We had our
Hey,
shooting
Lily.
class today. We just made one video, be out later tonight or in the morning.
yeah.
Then this one, then we got one more. It seems like nothing happens for a week or so on any of these cases, and then all of a sudden they all come to light. This is going to be on the Mickey Stines case. They had a hearing on Mickey Stines, a status update,
Mm-hmm.
and we started to go. Sheila and I just heard about it, and we were going to go to the hearing. I'm glad we didn't because it was by Zoom. It was on the computer.
Right.
So Sheila's going to play it for you. A couple interesting facts or comments in it, and we'll pick you up on the other side. Sheila, you got anything on the video itself before you go play it?
Oh no, it was just interesting. Some things
Sheila
that
had
were
an
said.
interesting question at one comment, so
Yeah.
we'll get to it on the other side.
Yeah, you'll hear it. It was definitely interesting. So here we go.
CR 204, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Sean versus Sean Mickey Stines. This is my first hearing on this matter. I was appointed to sit as special judge in this matter by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. So I will be the sitting judge in Letcher Circuit Court till the conclusion of this matter. Also, the Honorable Courtney Shoemaker, who is the circuit court clerk for Boyle County, is going to be the special circuit court clerk. For the record, the parties are present. Jackie Steele is the Commonwealth's attorney in this matter, and Jeremy and Carrie Bartley, I see, are both present
Yes, Your Honor.
with their client.
Your Honor.
I wanted to set this first status hearing. I know we'll probably have a few of these just to kind of go through a few matters to make sure we're going to proceed efficiently during the pendency of this action. Mr. Steele, can you first give me kind of an update as far as proceeding with discovery and kind of what you think a reasonable timeline is for discovery completion on this case?
First, Judge, let me clarify. Ramsey Dallin with the Attorney General's office, also attorney handling the matter. She had a conflict with other scheduling issues today. I see Mr. Kokenaur, Attorney General's office on special prosecutions. Ramsey has really been taking care of the discovery. I know we have made discovery. I think 2 weeks ago we made another some more discoveries, some issues. We still have some things coming in and things being tested. I would think within the next 4 to 6 months, all discovery and testing would be complete.
Okay. Mr. Kokenaur, you wish to input on that at all? Or anything you can update us on?
No, Your Honor. Jackie is correct. That sounds correct. And Ramsey, when she gets back next week, she's out of the state this week, but we'll have a better idea at that time.
All right.
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
if I may, Your Honor, I also failed to mention Mr. Jim Cox, who is co-counsel with our office. He is appearing by Zoom as well, Your Honor. And if I
Okay.
may speak to discovery, they have provided a plethora of voluminous discovery. We're continuing to go through that. At this point, all of our discovery requests have been met. And at this point, there are no outstanding discovery issues that we're aware of.
All right. And I encourage, like I said, Mr. Bartley, I know any request you have, please go ahead and make it, and they'll be happy, I'm sure, to provide that. If we do become, at any point in time, if there is an issue in regards to discovery, all y'all need to do is notify my office, and we can address that at any point in time the parties need.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Next, there's been an affidavit of indigency filed on behalf of Mr. Stines. Mr. Steele, have you had the opportunity to review that yet?
I have not, Your Honor. No, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Bartley, if you don't mind, or I'll tell you what, if it's okay with you, I'll send Mr. Steele a copy of that for his review also.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sure. Then I would ask if we have any hearings relative to that, Judge, if we could do those in camera, Your Honor.
Absolutely,
Yes, Your
absolutely.
Honor.
And Mr. Steele, I'm going to have you take a look at it. I'll just kind of give you my inclination at this point in time, after reviewing the affidavit of indigency, due to the nature and complexity of this case. I do believe after reviewing the affidavit of indigency that Mr. Stines will qualify potentially for Chapter 31 funding. I'm going to ask you, I'll send that to you and you can copy special prosecutions on it. What I would ask is after I send it to you all, if you all have any objection to that, if you will file that with the court within 10 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I don't think that will be an issue. Mr. Bartley, once we get that issue resolved, I will then proceed potentially with any request for Chapter 31 funding. And Mr. Steele, Mr. Kokenauer, maybe you all can address this if you want. Obviously, the rules would require that you all be given notice of the request for any ex parte hearings. Without question, there I think will be some ex parte hearings potentially for Chapter 31 fundings. How do you all want Mr. Bartley to notify you all anytime that they are going to file for an ex parte hearing?
Your Honor, Mr. Bartley has both mine and Ramsey's email. We've emailed each other several times through the last several months. Email will be fine. He does not need to file those in certified records.
I appreciate that. That's always, the Chapter 31 process is of such that that first step, the notice requirement, I don't think needs to be formalized. So any point in time, Mr. Bartley, before we'll have a hearing on that, if you'll just notify Mr. Steele in regards to that, and we'll address that at that point in time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Steele, Mr. Kokenauer.
And then next, are we in a position to know if there's going to be a request for any type of evaluation?
Judge, I've spoken with my client. We have. Oh, my apologies, Judge. I thought you were speaking. So what we have spoken with Mr. Steele about is that we do believe that there will be an issue as to criminal responsibility. We have consulted with, folks with regards to that issue. I reached out to Mr. Steele and we basically decided that we would raise this as a joint motion. I know that, once we provide that notice, the Commonwealth is entitled to have their expert evaluate Mr. Stines. And out of expediency, I believe that Mr. Steele and I would ask for an order for that evaluation to go ahead and take place. There are a couple of issues I did want to address with regard to the examination. I don't think they will be at issue at all, but I did want to make a couple of notes. But that's how we intend to proceed, Your Honor, with the court's blessing.
All right. And in regards to that, what I generally would do, and I think that's probably the best course of action to go ahead and get that in the pipeline. It is going to require, what I would recommend is that we go ahead and get the order entered in regards to competency and criminal responsibility. I might as well go ahead and that address since we're going to be doing that versus we've seen it sometimes be piecemealed, and I don't want to delay the proceedings if we would have to go back and redo that. I know KCPC will initially do a video interview of him initially, and then we'll notify, which is now required by law, and then they will then notify the court if a inpatient evaluation would be required.
Your Honor, so and I understand the court's position, and certainly we do not raise the issue as to competency, but I understand the court and the expediency of going ahead and examining that. I understand that, but I did want to make clear that our notice only concerned the criminal responsibility, Your Honor.
Okay.
But the other issue that I wanted to make sure that we discussed was my understanding with the, I believe it's Sean's law that made it more clear that our expert should be able to participate in the proceedings at KCPC. And I would ask that I'll go ahead and identify him as Dr. Eric Drogan.
Okay, I'm very familiar with Dr. Drogan.
We would ask that Dr. Drogan be allowed to participate pursuant to the statute. And then the second piece of that is, and generally I believe this is standard procedure, but I believe that normally KCPC gives both parties an opportunity to submit materials that they may want reviewed.
Sure.
We certainly would like to make sure that we have that opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, both sides will have. I know the more information the KCPC's provided, the more effective the evaluation will be.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Steele, what's your take on if we do just criminal responsibility, or if we go ahead and knock out competency and criminal responsibility?
I'm okay with the competency issue. This is taking a little bit of a turn from the discussion me and Mr. Bartley had. I thought we was doing a competency evaluation. They always do the criminal responsibility behind it. But now he's saying that he wants his expert there during a criminal responsibility. I'm not comfortable doing a criminal responsibility if he's going to have an expert on that position unless we know what the issues are they're raising in the criminal responsibility with their expert. So we're going to get in a position where our experts at KCPC or the court's experts at KCPC are on criminal responsibility, we're going to make a finding while their expert's present, and then he's going to go back and write his report. I don't want the court's KCPC evaluators doing an evaluation until they know what their position is, what their expert's position is. That way he's not interfering, but he's in an evaluation for criminal responsibility, and then he gets to go back and then address issues that he thought were not discussed properly during the KCPC responsibility issue. So I'm okay with getting the order in, but I think there should be I think their expert, if they've already conferred with him, he's already done an examination, needs to get that report in before the KCPC responsibility issue is done.
Yeah. So, Judge, I don't think that the rules require preparation of a report before that examination. We are, again, we raise only the issue of criminal responsibility. I understand that it's expedient to raise both, but once we give notice, there's nothing that I see that requires us to produce a report before he's evaluated. And, I guess the reverse could be true that, if we have them evaluated, I mean, if we submit the report, then the inverse is true. Then they get the opportunity to see our position in advance and to evaluate it, in that light, Judge. So I'd ask that we go ahead and send him up there, have him evaluated. If there is something, once we both exchange reports that in rebuttal they want to have reviewed by their expert, then I think certainly they can send them Dr. Drogan's report and have them examine it, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to take that under advisement. I am going to go ahead and get an order entered. We'll address the issue of the timing of the providing of the reports and who's present and when. I want to take a look at that to Mr. Bartley. I mean, for me, the distinct difference would be KCPC, while they're an employee of the Commonwealth, are not an agent of the Commonwealth. That is an independent evaluation versus Dr. Drogan, who would be a retained defense expert. So,
if I could, Your Honor, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Judge, and I think that if this were a court, I mean, if we were only looking at the issue of competency, but I believe under 807, if we have our own expert and we're not asking them to serve as an independent, I mean, this is going to be the state's witness. I mean, KCPC will be their expert. And Mr. Steele, do you disagree with that position or that piece of it?
Judge, if I may at this point in time, that's exactly going to my point. If he was indigent from the get-go and he had been found indigent and I understand the court may be looking at that issue, they're required to use state funds if available before coming to you for Chapter 31 funds. Also, they had funds available for them for an expert in criminal responsibility. That is their expert. They're not sending him for a criminal responsibility competency issue to be addressed for the court to have an understanding, for them to then say, okay, there's criminal responsibility issues. They have got an expert hired. They're putting the court and the Commonwealth in a position that they're going to allow criminal responsibility done. Well, they've already got an expert hired. And like the court said, they're not my expert. They are a function of the court, for the court to look at issues in regards to pretrial issues. So that's, again, just reemphasizes my position in regards to criminal responsibility, why their expert who's already hired should have a report filed before that goes forward.
I'm going to take that issue under advisement. I'll take a look at that. I will either issue an order or I'll enter a briefing schedule in regards to that issue.
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else you all want to address today?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that the court advise how you would like us to make our request for bond. We had discussed at the arraignment with the previous judge that we would do a formal bond hearing. Certainly, we were kind of in limbo until your appointment, Your Honor. So we certainly would ask the court to review it, but we would like the opportunity to address bond, Your Honor, and how, in whatever form the court would like for us to raise that issue.
I'm fine, but in regards to issue that, if you want to set a time for a formal motion on your bond, we can do that at any point in time.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. In terms of dates, is there any parameter in which you would like for us to file it?
If you all want, you can confer with the Commonwealth. If you want, just find some agreeable dates to both sides, and then we'll coordinate that with my office, and that'll be a hearing that I will travel and do that in person.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. That's why I want to make sure that it was convenient for all the parties.
Absolutely. We'll work around that. And when we get a little bit more, we can probably tie it in, and also with the fact that if we need to have any arguments in regards to the evaluation process, we could probably couple that and kill two birds with one stone.
Yes, Your Honor. In the event that the court, there were a bond set that was makeable, then at that point we, may have to revisit whether there's a inpatient versus outpatient. But I understand, Your Honor, we'll file that motion and get with everyone to discuss a convenient hearing date, Your Honor.
Sure. Be glad to address bond at any point in time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else we need to address today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Steele,
Nothing for the Commonwealth, Your Honor.
Mr. Kokenar, anything from the AG's perspective?
No, Your Honor, nothing else. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate all the parties. I will then look for you all to look for some dates once the bond motion is filed. And then we'll set a time to have that heard, and then we'll finalize any of the issues in regards to the evaluation of Mr. Stines. So if there's nothing else with that, court will be in adjournment, and then we'll reconvene upon an agreed upon time with the parties.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
That's
well, let's just go through it as they went through it,
okay.
and it's interesting.
Very.
They've got them. They've got the team. Everybody's got their position.
Okay.
The judge is picked. He'll be there through the conclusion of this trial. The special judge.
Right.
It's funny. They have a Bull County clerk, special Bull County clerk, special Lowell County Commonwealth attorney, Mr. Steele there, and I'm going to tell you that guy. He looks like he's coming alive now. This is going to, and then of course Somerset attorneys, Jeremy and Carrie Bartley. Attorney General's office is going to also help Mr. Steele.
Okay.
The Steele, Mr. Steele from Lowell County has he has spoken up, and they've had some disagreements there. It looks like they've discussed something, and then when it got in front of the judge, something has changed.
He said
You
that.
know, he's filed for indigency, can't afford nothing, but yet he went out and hired his own private doctor to evaluate him, and you can imagine how much that cost for a psychiatric testing. And
So Mr. Stines hired him?
no,
not the
Steins
attorneys?
is the Commonwealth attorney. Bartley's.
Okay,
Steins.
okay.
I'm sorry, that's what you said, Steins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking of Steele, but yeah.
His
Yeah,
attorneys.
Steins has his attorneys or him have
Mhm.
hired this doctor to evaluate Steins.
Oh,
But yet he's filed for indigency. He's broke, can't
Okay.
afford nothing.
Hmm.
You know, everybody getting along so far. They seemed at the beginning there to really be G'ing with one another and trying to get along, and
mhm.
all seemed very professional. Wanting this evaluation of Steins. Steins sitting in the background, twiddling his thumbs. I don't know. I don't know if he's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
And of course, they're going to do a competency and criminal responsibility, see if he's culpable and knows what he done or what he was
Okay.
doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they hired Dr. Drogan. I Googled that real fast. I couldn't find nothing. I just real fast Google. I'm sure he's out there too. Two great minds. I made some notes there. Two great minds. And I've always said this case will be played out. I don't think it will ever go to trial, but I'll tell you what, if it does, I think it's going to be a good trial.
Oh, yeah.
From the way Mr. Steele was talking just now, and Mr. Bartley,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other ones, his wife Carrie, and Attorney General's office, and so forth. Once they all get in there,
Yeah.
it was funny. She didn't do it like she did the first time she heard it when she was taping this.
Yeah.
But when Sheila heard, we was watching, and Sheila heard Mr. Bartley ask about getting bond for Mr. Stines. It was, oh my Lanta.
He said, what?
It was an oh my Lanta moment.
Oh, gosh.
She couldn't believe that that they were asking for bond.
Yeah.
And
That's...
seriously, and doubtful. If there is a bond posted or set, I'm sure it will be so outrageous that it'd almost be unreasonable. Because I can't imagine, especially with a psychiatric evaluation, or at least until one is done,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to keep him from doing this again. We don't know why he done it the first time for. What set him off that he banged the judge in 3 different places in the office. And how do we know that something like that won't set him off again? It does, you know, nobody still knows what the issue was.
There's a lot of speculations out there, but nothing's really come to light.
What if he, yeah, there's all kinds of rumors.
Right. Right.
But and guys, that's about where we're at.
Yeah. Just
We're a little bit late. We're a day late and $1 short, but
sorry.
we've been busy. And we're just now getting around to making this video.
Mhm.
But that's our 2 cents on it. Again, we started to go to Whitesburg for the hearing. We're so glad we didn't now, because everything was by Zoom. Now, the judge made comment there that next time they have a hearing, he'll make the trip. So I imagine, from the way it sounded, they're all going to meet in Whitesburg next time. We'll see. We'll try to keep you updated.
And if so, maybe we can,
Oh, for sure.
we can go. I
Yeah.
don't think they'll let us in to record it, but we can be there.
For sure. If when they start having the live hearings, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be if it should go to trial, I still don't think it will. I still think they'll plead it out. But if they don't plead it out, I think that's going to be an interesting case here in Kentucky, because I think Jeremy Bartley and his wife, and I think Commonwealth Attorney Steele from Laurel County, I think it is. I think they're going to be excellent attorneys, and I think they're going to use their legal minds to fight this out in court. And it looks like it's going to be, both of these guys seem very knowledgeable, and Carrie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Attorney General's, know that guy was there, but I think he's just sitting in for Ramsey, or ever who Ramsey is, so
I
We
don't
don't know that.
know. Yeah.
maybe the next time we'll get familiar with that one. So,
It'll all come out in the wash soon enough.
yeah, so at least this one's moving along. On the lady with her mother, we haven't heard anything else on that one. I'm sure that's still going through psychiatric evaluation. So, but we've not heard anything on it. But we are getting ready to do a video here shortly on Mr. Doug Harless,
Mm-hmm.
who was killed in his home in London. And there's an update on that, which ain't really an update because we have something we have said from the beginning. But we'll cover that in that video.
All right.
You're up, baby.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope you're having a great evening. Please like, subscribe, and share. God bless. Stay
Thank you,
warm.
guys.